What if the official, published teachings of Joseph Smith's own church in 1838 left zero room for plural marriage? In the Elder's Journal, under Joseph's editorial oversight, appears a clear statement on the duty of husband and wife. The language is relentlessly singular. His wife, cleave unto her and none else, she is his flesh, no exceptions. No hints of additional partners, just one man, one woman, and an absolute command of exclusive fidelity. This primary source lines up perfectly with the revelations and scriptures Joseph had already published. Stay with me as we examine the full 1838 article and what it reveals about the public doctrine of marriage in the church he organized. In August 1838, under the editorial oversight of Joseph Smith, the Elder's Journal published a clear statement on the duties of marriage. Titled, On the Duty of Husband and Wife, the piece uses consistently singular language that leaves no room for plurality. This primary source aligns directly with the revelations and scriptures that define marriage in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints during Joseph Smith's lifetime. It provides further evidence that the church he organized publicly taught and promoted monogamy as God's standing command. Here is the full excerpt as it appeared.
On the duty of husband and wife. It is the duty of a husband to love, cherish, and nourish his wife, and cleave unto her and none else. He ought to honor her as himself, and he ought to regard her feelings with tenderness, for she is his flesh and his bone, designed to be an help unto him, both in temporal and spiritual things. One into whose bosom he can pour all his complaints without reserve, who is willing, being designed, to take part of his burden, to soothe and encourage his feelings by her gentle voice. It is the place of the man to stand at the head of his family and be lord of his own house, not to rule over his wife as a tyrant. Neither is one who is fearful or jealous that his wife will get out of her place and prevent him from exercising his authority. It is his duty to be a man of God, for a man of God is a man of wisdom, ready at all times to obtain from the Scriptures, the revelations, and from on high, such instructions as are necessary for the edification and salvation of his household. And on the other hand, it is the duty of the wife to be in subjection to her husband at all times, not as a servant, neither as one who fears a tyrant or a master, but as one who, in meekness and the love of God, regards the laws and institutions of heaven, looks up to her husband for instruction, edification, and comfort, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. 1 Peter 3rd 6th.
Notice the deliberate singular phrasing throughout. His wife, cleave unto her and none else. She is his flesh. Rule over his wife. The duty of the wife, her husband. The title itself is husband and wife, not husband and wives. There is no provision, exception, or hint of additional partners. The command to cleave unto her and none else is absolute. This language mirrors the exclusive bond described in the revelations Joseph Smith had already received and published. This teaching stands in perfect harmony with earlier revelations and the Book of Mormon. Doctrine and Covenants section 42, verse 22, given in February 1831, declares,
Thou shalt love thy wife with all thy heart, and shalt cleave unto her and none else.
Doctrine and Covenants section 49, verse 16, received in May 1831, states that,
It is lawful that he should have one wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
The 1835 edition of the Doctrine and Covenants included section 101, the statement on marriage, which explicitly affirmed,
We declare that we believe that one man should have one wife, and one woman but one husband, except in case of death.
The Book of Mormon, in Jacob chapter 2, is equally clear.
There shall not any man among you have save it be one wife, and concubines he shall have none.
The Lord goes on to condemn the unauthorized plural marriages of David and Solomon as an abomination. Only 1 month earlier, in the July 1838 issue of the same Elder's Journal, Joseph Smith answered a direct question. Do the Mormons believe in having more wives than one? His reply was unambiguous.
No, not at the same time.
The August article on marital duties simply elaborates the practical outworking of that same monogamous standard. Together, these sources form a consistent public record. Marriage in the church organized by Joseph Smith was presented as a sacred, exclusive covenant between one husband and one wife. This singular emphasis stands in sharp contrast to the post-1844 developments in the Brighamite branch. After Joseph Smith's death, leaders in Utah introduced and publicly defended plural marriage, eventually replacing the 1835 monogamy statement in D&C 101 with what became Doctrine and Covenants section 132 in the 1876 edition. The language of exclusive fidelity, cleave unto her and none else, one wife, husband and wife, was set aside in favor of a system that permitted and later required plurality for some. The 1838 Elders Journal article, however, belongs firmly to the earlier period when the official, published teaching of the Church remained monogamous. For a fuller examination of these pre-1844 sources, including additional statements from the Times and Seasons, the Liberty Jail Correspondence, Relief Society Minutes, and the consistent scriptural foundation in the Book of Mormon and early Doctrine and Covenants, readers are invited to explore the compiled historical analysis on my Substack available at Exploring the Origins of Polygamy. That directory gathers primary documents showing that the public doctrine taught under Joseph Smith's leadership upheld monogamy as God's command, in keeping with the revelations he received and the scriptures he restored. The wording of the 1838 article is not ambiguous. It teaches a husband to love, cherish, and cleave to his wife, singular, and none else. In doing so, it provides one more clear window into the marriage doctrine that the early church publicly proclaimed. The 1838 Elders Journal article is clear. It supports the teaching and practice of monogamy. Alongside Doctrine and Covenants sections 42-49, the 1835 Statement on Marriage, Jacob chapter 2, and Joseph's own July 1838 reply that the saints did not believe in having more wives than one at the same time, it forms a consistent public record. Marriage under Joseph Smith's leadership was presented as a sacred, exclusive covenant between one husband and one wife. If you want to dig deeper into these pre-1844 sources and the broader historical picture, visit my Substack at Exploring the Origins of Polygamy. The link to this article and the directory are in the description below. I publish new articles daily on a variety of restoration topics. While you're here, leave a comment with your thoughts below. And if this video was valuable, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and to my Substack so you never miss the next piece. Thanks for watching.